Yeah, I am the voice of Team Emerald, and we love you so much.
Welcome to our YouTube channel. Yeah, so we have on board Adeshino Moyoluwa Tijesunimi.
Hey. Thank you.
Yeah, so today's topic is on how to be consistent in reading, and I brought her here because she's a very vast reader. She can read anything. Yeah, I just to say that she loves reading, and I've seen her as someone that reads very well. She reads well and wide. Yeah, so that's why I brought her here to tell us how to be consistent in reading for those who want to go into reading, like reading as a pro. Yeah, so before we continue, what's your own take, or what would you define consistency as?
Okay, thank you for having me on your channel. So consistency, I would say it is building an habit, right? Doing something over and over and over, a pattern or a system to build an habit, or to build a system, so to say. Persistence, basically.
All right, so can you tell us a brief about your own experience with reading? Yeah.
Okay, it's a very interesting story. Like I like to say it. Well, so I started reading. I can say I started reading in primary 4. Yes. Before that time, I didn't like reading actually. I just used to read all these. Ade goes to school, all these books here and there. But I still didn't like reading it because usually it's a case of they will force me to read it. But then I remember this particular day. I was in primary 4, and somebody brought a particular book to school. And you know how you do in primary school now.
Yeah.
Somebody brings a book, you want to read it. The person after you wants to read it.
Yeah.
The person after you keep passing it like that. So I was the last on the list to read it that day, and the book got to me around. School was supposed to close by 3:30. The book got to me at about 3 o'clock. I had just 30 minutes to read, and in that 30 minutes I had a class. So I was like, okay, what do I do? I was still on the last row of the class, and I got the book and I started reading. I didn't finish it. I think I got to like half of it, and then closing time, and I was trying to plead with the girl that, okay, can I take it home? I'll bring the boy tomorrow. I promise I'll bring the boy tomorrow. But she said no, so I can't take it home. So I was like, I was really sad, and I gave it back to her. I can't forget the name of that book, and I'll tell you the name later. And so I got home, and I even forgot about it. To be very honest, I forgot completely. And I got home, and I can't remember, I was just lying down on the couch, and my dad came in. He came in and he was like, TJ, how are you? I said, I'm fine, sir. Then he said, hey, I went by a bookstore today, and I got these 2 books. I don't know if you will like them. I saw them on the show. It was the exact book.
Wow.
That I was reading in school, and then another one. Now the name of the book is The Cuckoo in the Clock. That's the name of the book. If you are familiar with Edna Blyton's series, you will know the book. So it was The Cuckoo in the Clock, and I was like, no, it wasn't The Cuckoo in the Clock. Sorry, it was Bicycle Magic. I was reading in school, and then I said he bought 2 books. So the second one was The Cuckoo in the Clock. It was Bicycle Magic that he bought, that I was reading in school. Yes. So I was like, oh my god, it was where I jumped. He was surprised.
That excitement.
It was confused. He didn't understand. I said, don't worry, you won't understand. I was so happy. I finished the book that day, and then I went to school the following day to, like, with my shoulder pads, I went to school with The Cuckoo in the Clock, and then the people that did not want to give me their book home were not asking for my own Cuckoo in the Clock. Thankfully, I've always been a nice person, always been a generous person, so I gave it to her. And that was how my reading journey started. So from there, my dad realized I read the 2 of them in a day.
Wow.
I read the two of them that very day, and my dad saw my interest in reading. He's an academia, so he saw my interest in reading, and he was like, okay, if I really enjoy the book, that it would get me more. So we started from buying this series. It's a 72 book series. So we started buying them, you know, and that was I started reading.
So how would you rate your consistency level in reading, or how would you say one can build consistency in reading? Because like you first said, you didn't like reading. So how did you build the interest?
Okay, consistency in reading. Okay, you first asked the question, how will I rate my consistency? Well, sometimes, like, you know, okay, let me say generally, I would rate myself a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
I rate myself a 9 out of 10. Some people might rate me a 10 over 10, I don't know, but I rate myself a 9 out of 10. Now, building consistency in reading. Okay, so I think one major issue that a lot of people have, because I said I didn't like reading initially, one major issue a lot of people have, and I've noticed it with some people I've worked with, trying to help them build their reading habit, is you've not found the right types of books. You've not found what catches your interest. At that young age, in primary 4, I think maybe I was 8 or thereabout. You shouldn't expect me to be reading a book of 400 pages.
Yeah.
And you want me to finish it? No, come on. We start with Bicycle Magic. I don't know if you're familiar with Eddie Blyton's stories. It combines images and letters, and the prints are really big, and the pages are not so many. So it's easy for you to, you can put picture to what you are reading. Now, for somebody who is maybe a teenager or a young adult, so to say, you want to build consistency in reading, you feel you don't like reading, I would say, first of all, try to find the right types of books for yourself. What interests you? I have friends who don't like fiction. Anything fiction, they can't read it. But anything academics, bring it on. They are ready to go. They will read the textbook back to back to back. Now there is no textbook pattern for how to start reading. There's no textbook pattern per se, but there are a couple of things that I can share with you that have worked for me and have worked for other people that have worked with to build that reading habit. So first I would say, now know why you want to read, know why you want to start reading. A lot of people see, because if you don't know why you want to do something, there really will be nothing to keep you going, right? So know why when you get to school, you read because you want to pass exams, but go beyond reading to pass exams to reading to gain knowledge. Because what you read, I don't know, but I've always seen it happen to me. I've always seen it work for me. Little things you read here and there. You read a little of this today, read a little of that. Things that are in your field or that are not in your field, you would find a way to apply it one way or the other in the future. So try to read to gain knowledge. There's a lot that we don't know. So if you know a little of everything, it's not bad, right? So try to read to gain knowledge, to know more, so that you can be up to date, kind of. So some things that I feel will be helpful that have worked for me is know why you want to read, one. Then two, know the kind of books that work for you. Know the kind of books that work for you. And this is a lesson to everybody and to parents as well. If you want to build a reading habit for your kids, don't go and buy encyclopedia for a child that cannot sit down to watch Tom and Jerry finish. Don't go and buy encyclopedia. Start with picture books that have picture illustrations. Start with these things, and you realize that it would help them. It will help build their focus. You build the focus slowly, little by little. From Edwin Blyton, I graduated to reading other people. I graduated to reading Chimamanda. Though my transition was really fast, because I think I had the passion in me, but it had not found expression yet. It was my dad. I always accredit my reading culture to my dad. He was the one who really pushed me out to read. Start little by little. Get them, try to see what would interest them. I know you have some really smart kids that are really young, and maybe if you buy a science textbook for them, they would read it, it's fine. But on average, the small kids don't read that easily when they are quite young. So start little, right? Get them these illustrations, all of that, pictures, all the things that would help them build their reading culture, right? Then for young people, like people who are grown already, I would say, I usually tell people, start like this: get a fiction book, get a non-fiction, and start reading both of them simultaneously. Whichever one you finish first, because the one that interests you is what you want to keep reading. Whichever one you finish first would sort of create an idea of what you would like, of things you would like reading. Say for instance, you take let me think of a book that can be a good one. Say for instance, you take Purple Hibiscus on the one hand, and then you take Why You Act the Way You Do. I can bet that more than half of young people today will finish Purple Hibiscus first. But there are still some people who would finish Why You Act the Way You Do first. So try to do that, and then you know which one. Yes, you know which one, which genre helps you, which one you like more, and then keeping an accountability partner helps. Now, for me, when I was growing up, I didn't have someone that I would say, okay, just keep tab on me for this. My dad was doing it. I mean, during the holiday, at the beginning of the holiday, he would go to the bookshop, and then he would buy about 30 books at once.
Wow.
And bring it home, and then he would tell me, okay, so the target is maybe 1 week.
1 week for 30 books.
Yes. And a lot of times I'll finish it before the 1 week is up.
Wow.
So and I'm going, like, set a goal for yourself. Have an accountability partner. Get a good place to read if you can. Get a good place to read. I used to create a study place for me in the house to read. So once I'm there, nobody should come in.
Wow.
He used to create that study place for me to read. So set a goal for yourself that, okay, by maybe the end of the month, I want to read 3-4 books. Okay, remember, you already know your interest, you already know what interests you. Then you go and source for this kind of books, right? Then you make a list, then set a goal for yourself that, okay, by the end of the month, I want to be done with 3 books. That's fair enough. Create a reading space for yourself. Create a reading time for yourself. If you are busy, you go to work, all of that, create a reading time for yourself that, okay, I come back from work maybe 7, maybe between 9 and 10. Let me read something every day between 9 and 10. I must read something. Or pick 3 days in a week between 9 and 10, or whatever time you pick, I must read something. Do that, and that's fine. Then accountability partner, like I was saying, you could get someone to work with you. The person does not have to be a perfect reader. The person doesn't have to be. You could just be a friend and like, okay, so this month I want to read these 3 books. I want you to be following up with me and all of that. That's fine. You could join a book club and make friends on the book club. There are people, it's a community of like minds, so that way you get to build your reading culture.
Okay, yeah, you said
and sorry, one more thing I forgot to add. While you are building your reading culture, don't push yourself too hard. Take it little by little. If you will start with a book of 50 pages today, take it like that. You don't have to start with 400 pages in a day. And when you are tired, stop reading. Go and do something else. Stop reading. Stop and go and do something else.
Okay. Yeah, you mentioned 3 books in a week, but I would say, or should I say
in a month?
In a month. What of those who can't, or would I say 3 books in a month? To some people might be too much.
Yeah, do what works for you. Go at your pace. Whatever works for you. If it's 1 book in a month and you can keep it for a year, you've read 12 books.
Yeah.
Go at your pace. If you can do 5 books, whatever works for you.
Okay. Yeah, so we've talked about how to build interest in reading. You know you know your journey, and you know what works best for you. Okay, so for someone who knows how to read or loves reading, but the time is not there to always keep up with the consistency, how would you advise the person? What would you tell the person to do?
I can totally relate. I can totally relate. There are times when I think I've gone for a month without reading a book, without reading a book, and I felt sick throughout that. I just felt something was wrong somewhere. I just felt something was wrong, but there was no time. But this is what I've learned to do. We have technology now. We have our phones.
Yeah, sure.
Get ebooks. See, you don't have an excuse. You don't have an excuse. There are ebooks everywhere. Almost every hard copy has a soft copy.
Yeah.
Almost every book.
But some people will say they don't like soft copy.
If you want to build the reading culture and you know you are busy, okay, for instance, you can. There are sometimes I take hard copy books with me, maybe to class, to work. I take it with me. When I'm less busy, I can just open it and read. Now, there are situations where maybe you are in transit, right? Or you are going to a place where you can't carry books with you. That's where soft copy. No, I don't know, but you don't need to like soft copy. But if you set a goal for yourself that, okay, I want to read this book, I want to finish it this month, you would, you just have to try. Don't you never can tell. Start first. Then if you don't like it, find a way to still take your hard copy books about. But you are in a place, you are waiting for something, or you are waiting in an office to see someone, you might just be sitting down and looking, instead of watching TV or something, or scrolling through Instagram. Replace that period of entertainment, so to say, with reading the soft copy book. That way it helps your reading. So you don't have to be in a particular place or in a particular space. You can always be reading on the go, in traffic. Maybe you go on vacation, you go to visit someone, so that if you're not in your space, the reading doesn't die. Yeah,
so that's a good one. I have one more last question. So in your own pertaining to you now, you said at first you didn't like reading, you built your interest, and there are times when you didn't have the time to read, but you still found way to read. So for someone out there that is also in your shoes, and the person is still struggling, and the person does not have, like you had your dad who was checking on you and giving you the support. The person does not have such person. How would you, or what would you advise the person to do?
Okay. I think I've answered this question somewhere before.
Yeah.
But like I said, get an accountability partner. It doesn't have to be a parent. It doesn't have to be, if you're a parent, you can do it for your child.
Yeah.
But if it's like, okay, your parents can't do it for you, or maybe your sibling or your friend. The person does not have to live in the same place with you.
Yeah,
you can just be a friend. You can even be your junior. You can be your junior as well. Just keep tabs on me for this period, right? And I'll just be reporting to you about my reading schedule and all of that. You would surely find someone. You will always find someone.
Yeah. I already got what I wanted to get. Like, you don't have to have someone living with you.
Exactly. The person doesn't have to live with you. You would always find someone.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. So before we round up, what are your last words for our audience?
Okay. So last words. Please, I tell you, please. In this day and age, you should not say you don't like reading. Don't say that. And okay, I think I forgot to mention this, but learning to read those books, those novels, those stories actually helped me in my academics. Because by the time I got to I was in primary 4 then. By the time I got to secondary school, JS1, junior secondary school. I started, going higher and higher in classes. I was topping the class. JS1 to JS3, I topped the class. SS1 to SS3, I struggled a bit. By the time I got to uni, it would help you. It would help you. So, last words, parents, please help your kids. Help them build their reading culture. They shouldn't always sit in front of the TV. They shouldn't always sit in front of video games. Try to help them, help them learn to read. Young people and teenagers, even old people, if you don't have that reading habit or reading culture yet, it's not too late to learn. Readers are leaders, and it's very true. It's not until you sit in the it's not until you sit in a big office, so to say, before you can be called a leader. In little things here and there, and when you read, you know what's happening. You know your onions. You know basically something about everything.
Yeah.
You can always walk with confidence into anywhere and open your mouth to speak.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for honoring our invitation.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so it's a wrap up. Thank you. And if you're yet to subscribe to this YouTube channel, please do well to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified when we upload new videos. Till then, see you. Bye.